Hi, welcome to the Tyler Fischer Show. I got a new haircut. I've got new haircut confidence right now. Doesn't last long, folks. Doesn't last long. You ever get a new haircut and you just walk out and you feel so sexy? And you got the towel. You feel like a model. You feel like and I'm talking about like a good salon. I went to. I paid $150 for a haircut. I never would have done that, but I did when I did HQ Trivia. Does anyone know that I was on that show? That I hosted. I was one of the rotating hosts for a whole year. HQ Trivia. If you don't know what that was, there's this massive, like, global phenomenon. It was a game show, live game show. And Scott Rogowski was the host. He was a pal of mine before that show. And it just swept the world. And The Rock was hosting and all these famous people. So anyways, they said, we want to get you a nice haircut. I thought, all right, just give me like $50 or something, $20 I think I was spending. And I went to this salon, and it was $150. It was right across from the studio. God, I just felt so cared for. And so I made that a habit after they fired me. You're fired. No, you're fired. It's, frankly, HQ is dead in the water. And they actually just did a documentary on CNN. They wanted me to be in the documentary. And I just thought, fake news. No, fake news. So I didn't do it because I didn't want them to spin. I didn't want the spin cycle happening. And later on in the show today, I'm going to talk about just that because I was in an article for the New Yorker, which I have pulled up right here, which was spun, quite spun, we'll call it, quite spun. And I'm going to read the article, and some people are mad about it who are in it. Now, I'm in a position right now where I don't really give a shit about what anybody says about me or writes about me. That's one of the benefits of not being in the mainstream Hollywood anymore. So we'll have some fun. We'll read through that later on. But my point is I got a new haircut, and I went to this salon, and oh, my God, it's such an experience. If you haven't done it, do it. Do it once. Do it once if you're a man. Because I think women do it all the time. And I think this is why women are more confident. Because they do these things. They go to the hair salon. They shower. They wash their feet. They just have, you know what I mean? They have this air of self-care and confidence. So you go in, and they're all very quiet. It's like a museum. Are we here? Are you here for a haircut? Okay. Just go ahead and take a seat. And they don't really, there's no emotion, and it almost feels like it's a hangout for mimes. There are a bunch of mimes who, like, when they're on break, they're allowed to go, I made some good money today, some of the balloons. So there's a lot of whispering going on. So you just go, I'm somewhere. It's like a museum. Oh, I'm somewhere important. I'm around intellectuals, and I'm around artists, and putties and sculpting gels. So they sit you down, and then, by the way, block off the day. Block off the day. The day is gone. If you're going to get one of these haircuts, you need to block off the full day. You got to call out of work because God knows how long this thing is going to take. And that's kind of part of the fun because they just kind of like move you around like a little rag doll and wash your hair and put powder on your ass and all this stuff. So they get you in the chair, and first they go, what are we doing? What are we going to do? Now, I had a male hairdresser. I don't think men should be allowed to cut hair, okay? I'm just going to say that. Not at a salon like this. I love my guy, and I will continue to go back to him because once I get one guy that does a pretty good job, I'm afraid to kind of venture out. So I got my guy. You can't have a normal name. His name's Kevin with a Y. You can't have... They probably said, look, we can't hire you if it's Kevin. We need a Y in there somewhere. It could be Y, Kevin, and then we'll just, the Y is silent. Nobody talks about it, but there's got to be a Y or an umlaut or one of those little dash things. You can't have a normal name working in there. It's all part of the experience, and I get it. I get it, and I love my Kevin with a Y. So we sit down, and what I think about male hairdressers, I don't think they actually know what they're doing, okay? The male hair is very simple. There's not a whole lot you can do to it. And if you go to a barber, they kind of give it to you straight. They go, what are we doing here? What are we doing? What do you want to do with the hair today? And you go, I don't know. And I go, okay, look, here's the deal. You want to wear it up or you want to wear it down? And that's it. Those are the choices you make. And then he starts cutting. A place like this, they need to present you with many, many options, okay? They're talking about fading and clipping and trimming and wafting and woofting and swooping. There's got to be this theater to it. It's theater. You know, it's like Rand Paul, political theater. It's political haircut theater. So we do this little dance together where we both pretend like we know what the fuck we're talking about. And he'll go, what do you want to do? What do you see? What's your vision here? And they'll also ask you what your vision is. And I'm like, just get me laid. Do a thing where women go, oh, I'll fuck that guy because, you know, because it does that or whatever. I don't know. And you have to pretend. So he's like, what do you want to do? I go, because you want to take it in a little bit? I go, yeah, take it in. I don't know what the fuck that means. Take it in? He goes, yeah, we'll take it in a little. How about, and then they'll kind of like, they're like waiters, basically. You want to take it a little bit? We'll take it in, and then maybe we'll take it out a little. And then we'll kind of, you know, they're like pizza fucking makers. And then we'll do a little bit of this, and a little bit of that. And then they wash your hair. They massage your head. You try not to get a boner. It's very sexual. It's very sexual. They put your head back in that fucking guillotine thing, which is my one real issue I have, because it's this hard fucking plaster thing. There's no cushion on it. For all the pampering you get, then they fucking throw your head back into this cement block and just put scalding hot water on your head. And again, you try not to get hard because it's very sexual. And I don't think most people are ever treated this way. And that's why I like to do it, because you really feel like a king. You really do. And then after the haircut's done, they start putting product in. Let's get to the product. They're putting product in. And this is where they trick you, because they put so much product in your hair and they make your head look so good, and then it just falls apart. So he comes, he goes, all right, we're gonna do a little, we're gonna do a little filler spray. We're gonna fill it in a little bit, and then we'll give you a little lift gel. Put a little lift gel in there, and then we're gonna get some wafting mist. All right? And then we're just going to get some essence around there. And he's spraying 5 things in my hair. Suddenly, I look like Seinfeld in the 80s. It's full bodied and I feel amazing. And then the towel woman walks over and she's hitting on me. And I'm going, is this all part of it? Is it like Vegas? I was just in Vegas and I almost went out with 2 prostitutes because they put on the show. And a woman came up to me in Las Vegas. She goes, God, I love that beard. I love that beard. And we started talking. I got her number. And then she sends me her rates for sexual pleasure. And that's kind of what this is. This is like the Las Vegas of the hair community. But whatever. I don't know. Make yourself feel good. So I feel like $1 million. And then I'm going to just put up a picture here, because this is me in the chair. Look how confident I am. I don't make that face. Resting Ryan Gosling face, you know? And now I'm going to show you a picture today, 2 minutes out in the rain. I didn't do anything. Okay? So this is me in the chair, feeling good, and this is 1 day later. All of the spray comes out, all of the mist comes out, all of the essence, juice, everything, and then you look like one of the fucking Three Stooges. And I've been suicidal for the last 24 hours. I didn't want to go out. The Comedy Cellar, the manager there is like, you need to stop wearing a hat, and you look great without a hat. So that's why I got the haircut, and now I don't want to show my head. So, anyways, and then Kevin blew me in the broom closet, and I gave him a good tip. So, can we talk about the guy who is arrested for killing the guy on the subway? Or not killing him, but I just want to go over that a little bit. The guy who went on the subway and restrained the Michael Jackson impersonator. First of all, the picture they showed of him in the video was of, I think, 12 years ago, of him doing a Michael Jackson impersonation on the subway, and that's how they framed it. Again, back to fake news. They spin it. It's all a spin. It's all a fucking spin cycle. And who cares he's a Michael Jackson impersonator? Who gives a shit? That's his... That's how you're going to glorify this guy? For impersonating a pedophile on the subway? Who, by the way, he tried kidnapping a 7-year-old girl? So he nailed, first of all, credit where credit's due as an impressionist, nailed the Michael Jackson impression. If he's out kidnapping kids, I mean, talk about doing your research. Talk about committing to the role. Talk about hashtag Daniel Day-Lewis style fucking, what do they call it? What do they call it when you play a role and you actually become the role? I can't believe I can't think of that as an actor. Anyways, that's what he did. He went full MJ. You know what I mean? Full beat it. And he wanted to beat those kids. And speaking of beat it, he also beat an old woman. He punched an old woman in the face. I think he had 44 arrests. Pathetic. Pathetic seeing these little fucking twerps in the subway protesting, standing in the subway tracks, dancing around near the third rail. The Lord really could have taken care of that situation quickly, but I'll say no more about that. And this is where we're at in New York. I mean, it's over. It is fucking over. We have a fucking mentally retarded mayor. We gotta get all the cracker peoples. He was a hero. Michael MJ impersonator. Fucking Tracy Morgan with Down syndrome. A more retarded, more high on dope Tracy Morgan. Tracy Morgan had 2 more severe car accidents, suffered another head injury, did a bunch of fentanyl. That's your mayor of New York. Mayor of New York City. This guy is so fucking infuriating. I can't even. He looks like a Ninja Turtle with Down syndrome. He's texting me right now. So anyways, it's over. Game over. Game over. And that guy is a hero. I want to say that right now. That guy is a hero. A fucking hero. People were shot on the subway. What, last year a guy opened fire on the subway? That could have been this guy. And if that happened, they would have been like, the white man just sat there and didn't do anything. We had a military officer who could have used his army skills to put this man into constraints. But he sat there and did nothing because he's a white cracker person. So now if he didn't do anything, I'm sure they'd blame him, for his white privilege to just sit there and watch a black fucking a pedophile accost the train. Who knows how many people he saved? He said he was willing to die. He said he was willing to take a bullet. He said he was willing to go to jail. And the guy put up... See, I can't do it. Look at my little hands, okay? Look at my little pussy grabbers. I can't do anything with these hands. And so I would have done that if I could have, but I can't. He's got height privilege. And so he put him in a headlock, and the guy died. And God knows if he was on drugs. I don't think anyone's ever talked about that. This guy is a hero. Mind you, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, this man would have been getting a Medal of Honor from the mayor. Instead, the mayor is race baiting and dividing the fucking country even more over this race crap, which has nothing to do with race. It has to do with people are tired of being threatened on the subway. I stopped taking the subway a year ago, okay? I would be humiliated to tell you how much money I spent on Ubers. Okay? I'm not taking cabs, I'm Ubering. Because you know what? I'm not hailing. Why? First of all, I saw a German guy hailing a cab the other day. Why? Where are the cancel culture people on this? Everything's canceled. You can't say master bedroom. You can't say really anything without it being called hate speech. But you can go outside and zig hail a cab, and you don't want to see a German doing that. I saw a German guy. He's like, I'm going to Times Square. Let's go to the Times Square. He's getting very mad. I go, just bro, call an Uber. Call the Uber. So I stopped taking the train for this very reason. I lost one of the most enticing parts about living in a big city, which is you can just hop a train. You could be here. You can be in Times Square. You can be up in Yonkers. You can be wherever the fuck you want to go. And so I stopped taking the subway because I was going to kill somebody. I almost got killed. I saw a guy, he started throwing garbage on the train, on the subway, in the car. I go, bro, stop doing that. He almost murdered me. And I know that because he's like, I'm going to murder you. And so I had to stop taking the train because I'm not a pussy, okay? I'm sorry. I'm tired of apologizing for not being a pussy. Like this hero. That guy should be, you know what I mean? Give him a sandwich at Katz's Deli, right? What do you want to call it? The chokehold. You know, I'll have a pastrami on rye. Give me the chokehold on wheat, right? And it's just so much meat, just fucking, you know what I mean? Just jammed in. They take like a pound and they just shove it in. So much meat, choked in. What do you expect?
Defund the police. We don't need the police.
Okay, so now we don't have the police. And now we've normalized criminals. We've normalized people wearing masks. What if you can't write this? I never thought I was in a simulation, but now I'm like, okay, the Democrats have normalized wearing a mask during the day out in public. They've normalized being soft on criminals. They've normalized making criminals the heroes and the people that stop the criminals the villains. They've normalized hating the police, and then they've normalized hating people who defend themselves. It's like, what a mindfuck that is. This is what you get. This is what you get. People are going to start protecting themselves. If this guy goes to jail, oh my God. Game over. Game over. Oh, he was the Michael Jackson impersonator. Oh. Well, first of all, isn't that kind of culturally appropriating? Because Michael Jackson transitioned to a white man. So, I don't know. Maybe we should have a conversation of if a black guy could be playing Michael Jackson doing his later work when he clearly transitioned to being white. Why aren't black people mad about that, by the way? Black people love Michael Jackson. Oh, I've told jokes. So I used to do the black circuit. There's a black comedy club circuit in Brooklyn, and I used to do it. And, man, I talked about Michael Jackson. I almost got beat up, dude. I almost got fucking beat up. They don't want to hear about that pedophile shit. I think I'm willing to say most black people are not, they're not on board with the Michael Jackson was a pedophile thing. And so, why aren't they mad that he turned white? That's my question. Bud Light's still taking a big hit. Love to see it. Love to see it. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. And I pitched to Amala. Well, by the way, if you didn't see my interview with Amala Epinobi, And I called her Amala, and I feel terrible about that. I don't feel terrible, but I have minor dyslexia, and so I practiced her name for like an hour, and I still got it wrong. So Amala Epinobi, who went on Dr. Phil with me, she was on my last episode. So I'm going to be doing guest, solo episode, guest, solo episode. That's all I can handle, and so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to talk about dating a little bit, and I don't want to say too much because next week on the show is, let me just double check here. Jedediah Bila will be on the show next week. Jedediah Bila. She was on The View. She was the conservative talking head on The View, and she's got her own show on YouTube. She's absolutely blowing up, and she talks about all the horrific things happening with dating, with men becoming pussies, with radical feminism ruining the dating scene, all of it. And I really like her, and she's going to be on the show because I just kind of want to talk to her about dating and see if she can help me. But right now, ladies, can we talk for a second? Can you stop talking about ex-boyfriends, men you've hooked up with, men you're interested in on first dates? Gals, call a meeting, call a town hall. Please stop. I'm flabbergasted. Every fucking first date I go on, and I'm back, baby. Okay? I took a little break, and I am back. Hardcore dating. And I am yet to go on a first date with a woman who does not talk about ex-boyfriends and guys, and it is so disrespectful. I just had a date with somebody. It's like everything you can walk by a bowling alley and they go, "Oh, my ex-boyfriend, he was a champion bowler. Cool. Great. How is that helping us right now? How is that helping our relationship?" You know, you're walking down the street. Fucking rat runs in front. "Oh, my ex-boyfriend stepped on a rat once on our set." Well, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about your ex. Stop talking about it. It's so disrespectful. I don't understand. I would never talk about other women on a first date. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. I would never talk about the only time to talk about an ex is if you've got some weird trauma and you're like, "Look, you grabbed my butt last night, we're having sex, and it was a little triggering because my ex, she had those really long nails, and she would claw into my butt cheeks, and, I had to go to the hospital, and one of them went up my butt, and it got stuck up there and went into my large intestine. I missed a month of work, and I just had this long Puerto Rican chick's nail floating around my large intestine, and it was, scraping things up inside, and so I'm a little, just give me a warning before you grab my butt, maybe trim your fingernails, something that links to something that can help become a net positive for your relationship. But don't just start talking about them. This chick was talking about her ex-boyfriend's hygiene. He didn't wipe his butt. She told me that on a second date. A guy I was hooking up with, he didn't wipe his ass. Oh, great, cool. Put your tongue down my throat now. Let's think about that. Let's think about your last hookup sweaty butthole before we get into it. And you know what? I said enough. I don't care anymore. See, this is what's happening, is men have become such fucking pussies, not everybody, that they're just going to burst. And that's what's happening to me. Is like, you know what? The other day I just go, "Hey, look, not okay. Not okay." Somebody has to set the ground rules in a relationship. It's not going to be the woman. It should be the man. And not to say everybody shouldn't have their boundaries, but like someone's got to lead a little bit more. It's not going to be 50-50. My partner. It's my partner. No, shut the fuck. Cut it out with the partner bullshit. Okay? Be a boyfriend. Be a leader. And I just said, please Stop talking about other men when we're hanging out. It's inappropriate. It's a major turnoff, and it's not necessary. And I said that with the feeling that if she said, fuck you, I would say goodbye. And I heard this the other day, and I love these I do like these YouTube channels where these guys talk about this stuff. And sometimes I feel sad that I watch them, but the fact that I'm watching them and my career's going well, I'm in shape, I'm working out, I live in a 5-bedroom house, I have a Labradoodle, okay? An espresso machine, I make good coffee, I cook, I'm confident, I'm playing the Comedy Cellar 18 shows a week, I'm touring, I'm doing a movie, and I'm still running into women being unbelievably disrespectful and still kind of coming at me like, you got to prove yourself. You got to keep I'm like, what more do I have to fucking do? And the fact that I'm watching these videos is kind of, it's really scary to me. Because a run-of-the-mill bro, your average Chad who's making 20 grand a year and has no social status, I feel bad for them. So I want to try to help out in any way I can. That's why I want to talk to Jedediah and try to come figure something out. But I saw this guy in his video, and I loved this because this is what you're going to be met with. If you try to set a boundary with these modern, super feminist women, they don't want to hear any boundaries. They don't, rules are tricky. Yeah. When I've tried to set, they go,
Sounds like a rule, and rules are a little oppressive. It sounds like you're trying to colonize the relationship.
So it's like, Jesus Christ, you can't have one fucking rule. And every single time they'll go, this is sounding a little insecure. You're not okay with me talking to my ex-boyfriend. It's sounding a little insecure. The fact that I don't want to hear about your ex's shitty asshole, it's not insecure. Everything's not an insecurity and oppressive. There's some things in life that are just inappropriate. And talking about men on a first date, or if you're a guy and you're talking about chicks on a first date, or if you're gender fluid and you're talking about non-binary, non-specified, non-gendered peoples or folks, what is the folks thing? Have you noticed this? Now, if you're not straight, you're not a person, you're a folk now? What are we doing? The genderqueer folks. What the fuck is that? Folks? I mean, it sounds like some transphobic hick. I don't like all these trans folks. I get these trans folks off my lawn. The genderqueer, non-conforming, non-binary folks. I've had enough of this. So anyhow, my point is, and this is what I heard from this guy. He said, next time a woman says you're insecure because I'm talking about dudes, you say, babe, I am so secure. I'm walking away from this relationship right now. I am so fucking secure. I got pomade in my hair. I'm all wafted out. I got essence mist. I had a guy massaging my fucking head and my shoulders. I just paid $150 for a haircut from Kevin with a Y, and I'm walking away. That's how secure I am. I love that. Take that with you. That's my new shit. When someone says you're insecure, I go, I got 1,000 women in my DMs, okay? Slipping them into my DMs. I got these women slipping into my DMs. I'm meeting women after shows. I got the balls to approach women in the wild. I don't need you. I don't need this combative bullshit. And so I'm so secure, I'm walking away. That's what you got to do. Speaking of walking away, speaking of canceled, so I'm in a New Yorker article. So about 6 months ago, a woman reached out to me on Twitter, Pamela Paresky. And she reached out. She said, I've got this group of people. Some of them have been quote-unquote canceled. Some of them haven't. It's a group of intellects and journalists and scientists and lawyers. And they all meet and they just socialize. And so, anyways, she brought me into the Comedy Cellar, and I sat with her and Noam, the owner, and we chatted. I got the audition, got into the Comedy Cellar, and boom, 5 months later, I'm doing 18 shows a week. So she has this group called Thought Criminals. And I wouldn't say I'm like officially in the group, or I don't know. I don't like labels, but I've gone to a few of these. And so they all met at the Olive Tree at the Comedy Cellar, the restaurant upstairs. And this gal from the New Yorker, Emma Green, she came and she interviewed all these people. Now, all types of people, gay, straight, lesbian, trans, detransition people, a wide group of people and a wide group of intellects and people that have been quote unquote canceled for all sorts of things. And so she interviewed me. I didn't know much about it, but I don't care anymore. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, what are they gonna say? Are they gonna spin the article? Are they gonna say I fucking raped Dylan Mulvaney or some shit from my videos? And so I sat down and I told her my story, and it's so fascinating to see. I didn't read the full thing, but I skimmed through it. I can only speak to myself, but she really, they have an angle with these things. They all have their own angle that they want to get across. And so it didn't feel super supportive for this group of people. And I'll just read you this. So, most often, the group meets at the Olive Tree Cafe, the restaurant above the Comedy Cellar in Greenwich Village. The Olive Tree is a bit of a scene for dissidents in the city, even beyond Paresky's group. Noam, the owner of both the Comedy Cellar and the restaurant, picks up the tab for the gatherings. He likes that his venue can be used for lively debate. Yeah, he does. The Cellar is known as a place where controversial entertainers can perform. In 2017, Louis C.K. apologized for abusing his power as a high-profile comic in order to masturbate in front of female comedians. Yeah, not the most upscale broads in the fucking world, by the way. And was subsequently dropped by Netflix, HBO, blah, 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 blah. But less than a year later, he was on stage at the Comedy Cellar again. So first of all, the Cellar is known as a place where controversial entertainers can perform. First of all, everybody that performs at the Comedy Cellar is at all the other clubs, by the way. Louis C.K.'s, I saw him at the Stand Comedy Club. You see him here, you see him there. He just sold out Madison Square Garden. So you can see they're putting a little spin on it. I'll get to the part about me, because I can't speak for anybody else. So here we go. Occasionally, Paresky recruits a new thought criminal by DMing them on Twitter while they're facing backlash. That's how she met Tyler Fischer, an actor and comedian who has found modest social media fame. I don't know, I'm about to hit 1 million. I don't know how modest that is. Modest social media fame by posting parody videos, including a crude series mocking Dylan Mulvaney. The social media star who makes TikToks about her gender transition. We should probably say his non-gender transition, because you can't do that. Paresky put Fischer in touch with Dwarman, who let Fischer audition for a set at the Cellar as a courtesy. I don't know. I don't think so. I think he liked me and wanted me to audition. Fischer performed well, and now he does about 15 shows a week at the venue. In between sets, on the evening I was there, he swung by the Thought Criminals table upstairs. Fischer claims he had a hard time getting a talent manager because he's a white man. Okay, see, there you go, right there. I said, don't say that. They had a fact checker call me, a guy named Fabrice who could barely speak English, by the way. He's the guy fact checking. I said, don't say that, please. That comes off very victim-y. Fischer claims he had a hard time getting a talent manager because he's a white man. I only cite precise examples where I have evidence. Okay, I'm not going to make that broad, oversweeping claim. I had a talent agent fire me because I'm white, who told me over email, And then the next one who pursued me said, we're not hiring you because you're white. And then I kind of gave up on it. I'm not making the claim that I can't get a manager because I'm white. And it comes off very victim-y. And the fact that she left out that I was fired for being white and rejected explicitly for being white, which I have on tape, which I'm suing them in the Supreme Court, is fucking bullshit. And that's, you know what I mean? She doesn't want to give that to me because that makes me look a little more, I don't know, a little less victim-y and douchey if she had mentioned that. He recently acted in a movie called Terror on the Prairie, a Western about a pioneer family that gets attacked by outlaws, co-produced by the conservative media company. Who gives a fuck what their political views are? The Daily Wire. One of the stars was Gina Carano, the actress and former mixed martial artist who lost her role in the Disney Plus series The Mandalorian because of her social media posts, including one implying that being Jewish in Nazi Germany was similar to being conservative in American today. Fischer told me that the criticism he received for his comedy has escalated his desire to tell edgy jokes. I didn't say that. I did not say that. What I said was, after being called racist and transphobic and the worst things that you can be called in society, it opened me up to not be afraid to talk about everything, okay? I don't claim that to be edgy. I don't try to be edgy on purpose. So this is bullshit. And I also asked the fact checker to clear this up, and they didn't. Again, I don't give a shit, but like some people who aren't in my position probably do give a shit. You know, Noam is the owner of the Comedy Cellar. He's not a comic, so he doesn't want this type of spin. What else she say? Okay. Fischer told me that the criticism he received for his comedy has escalated his desire to tell edgy jokes. False. Resulting in this cornered rat feeling where I ended up saying things I would have never said. His fans at the Cellar aren't scandalized by his provocative lines. They're not provocative. They're provocative if some woke cunt goes, "You're provoking me," which, by the way, is usually like 1 out of 200 people at these shows every night. His fans at the Cellar aren't scandalized by his provocative lines. They're jokes, people. Come on, we're telling jokes here. That's all they are, they're jokes. They're starving, Fischer said. Like several of the thought criminals I spoke with, Fischer is someone whose career seems to have thrived from the aura of cancellation, helping him define his brand among a certain audience. I disagree with that as well. As one Reddit user put it, canceling this guy doesn't seem to be working. He's blowing up. Anyways, so that's that. And, it's not the worst, but it's frustrating because she wanted her angle on it, and she wanted us to have a certain kind of vibe instead of us just being kind of, a lot of us were just sort of regular. I would say a lot of us were quite left politically, non-controversial, just saying run-of-the-mill things in our industries. Anyways, I don't know, whatever. I got a write-up in the New Yorker. Not the end of the world. I don't think anybody reads it. I think more people probably read like in the wall on a bathroom stall at a truck stop at this point. It goes on and on and on and on. The party is canceled inside a monthly New York City hangout where fired university professors and controversial TikTokers get together to have discussions they feel they can't have anywhere else. That's funny. It's also funny. What a dying art this is. The news media. It's a dying art. I just did a video that I put up. I've been working on a joke for a while about this has been one of the hardest nuts to crack. I've been telling a joke about not getting the COVID vaccine and then being called a Trump supporter for it. And it's taken me like a year. I just posted it on all socials, and I really trimmed it down, but I'm just like, it's been 3 years, and I personally don't really have any hope for the future, because this was a fantastic dress rehearsal for what will happen again. There will be another pandemic, probably sooner than we think. And what did we learn? I mean, 300 million out of 350 million people bent over and got the COVID vaccine, and a lot of them didn't want to get it. A lot of them did not want to get it. Okay, so my whole point with telling this story on stage and stuff was like, Trump made the vaccine. By the way, they ended COVID, I think the emergency stuff on May 11th or something. It's been over for 2 years. It's been over for 2.5 years. And Biden just ended the emergency powers of the COVID thing. And so it just, the most infuriating part was being called a Trump supporter for this thing that fucking he made. Trump made the vaccine. I won't let that go, because I was such a CNN head and MSNBC watcher. That's all I watched as far as the news. And they scared the shit out of me. Oh, Trump, if Trump makes this thing, who's going to get it? How could you sit and watch that? Buy into it. Be scared by the vaccine, then have Biden become president, have him shame you into get it. Completely fold, then get it, then go back and watch MSNBC and CNN again after they completely threw you under the bus. It's unbelievable. So I'm thinking, if Trump made it, then I would want to get it. If I liked Trump, I would want to get it. Warp speed. That was his thing. Warp speed. Warp speed. No. They said it would take 5 years. No, listen. Now they said it would take 5 years. I made it in 2 days. Why am I've been taught my entire life to not trust Big Pharma. My entire life. Half of my friends are dead from overdosing on pharmaceuticals, on these drugs that are prescribed haphazardly to children, and Xanax and all these antidepressants, all this bullshit. So I don't trust them. And then I was taught to not trust Donald Trump. And look, he's a successful guy, but not everything he did worked out so well. A lot of his businesses failed. A lot of his buildings failed. His marriages failed. His hairline is failing. And now you want me to just get on board with a Trump-Pfizer collab? What? It's fucking crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Warp speed. Nobody, so quick. I made it so quick. Warp speed. I'm just going to play the joke right now. And that's how I'm going to end the show today. I'll play the full version for you. How about that? Do I have the full version? I do have the full version. All right, I'm just going to play the full version because this took me a year to get even like close to laughs, because I would get on stage and I would just go, man, this vaccine mandate really divided the country, and people's buttholes everybody freaked out. You couldn't, in a place like New York City, you couldn't even talk about it, which is so ridiculous. And so I had to find a way to I just had to find a way to massage it in. And that's what I love about stand-up is you end of the day, if people aren't laughing, you can't do it. You can't talk about it. You can't do the joke. You've got to find a way to make people laugh. And I love that. And it keeps me incredibly balanced because look, especially for this joke, probably 95% of the people got the COVID vax. I'm sure most of them hated unvaccinated people. I'm sure a lot of them got rid of friends for not getting the vaccine. So I had to make them laugh at this thing that was so painful for me and destroyed so many people's lives. And I love it. I really do. So we'll do this to play us out. We'll do it live. We'll play us out with this joke here about being called horrible things for not getting the experimental Trump-Pfizer collab. This country's all divided because of the pandemic, the vaccine mandate. I was called a far-right extremist Trump supporter for not getting the vaccine. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, one honest guy. How did that make you feel?
Tiny.
Huh?
Tiny.
Tiny? It made you feel tiny? When you're called a racist Trump supporter? You need a vaccine, but not for that. You just need like a IQ vax or something. Just boost my IQ. Come on. Well, either way, Trump made the vaccine, you know what I mean? If you love Trump, you would have got the goddamn thing. He made that, you remember? That was his baby, right? Warp speed. Excuse me, warp speed. No, you all have warp speed in you right now. You have Trump juice inside your body. Warp speed so quick, it was supposed to take 5 years, but I made it in 2 days. Warp speed. You have experimental Trump juice in your body, floating around. Warp speed, nobody makes it that quick. It goes quick, fast, very fast. Lightning speeder than warp speed. Right? Nobody feels tiny when they get it. So, big, very big. If I like Trump, I'd be like, give me that Patriot pinch. Give it to me. Come on. I got my NRA tattoo and my mRNA tattoo. Come on. Making vaccines great again. And this episode went by so quick, like warp. Like warp speed, so quick. So quick, I hope I injected you and vaccinated you with a couple of laughs and some good times. Thanks for watching, everybody. Jedediah will be on the show. We are planning to live stream the show. I know I've said that before and it went horribly wrong. What's happening is I am in a dead zone in New York for Wi-Fi. So I've now had Optimum come 3 times and replace my box. And then the guy finally confessed to me that it's just not going to work in my neighborhood. Because I'm in a black neighborhood. Oh, yeah, because I'm so oppressed over here, right? Because they hate black people. So they don't give us Wi-Fi. And so I've got Fios coming on Monday. And by the love of God, I hope I actually have working internet. And then we're going to live stream. If all goes well on Wednesday, and I'll announce a time, and I will live stream. She's coming on 3:30. I will hopefully live stream on... we might live stream everywhere and just see what happens. We might do Twitter, Facebook, Rumble, YouTube, and then we'll do a bonus segment with Jedediah and answer your questions for my local supporters. And you can go to tylerfisher.locals.com if you'd like to support me in any way, shape, or form. And this is my insurance policy is fan-funded support. So I appreciate all the support. My Locals page is growing nice, and we'll do a bonus part on that episode. So head over to Locals now if you want to submit questions for Jedediah. Jedediah Mila, check her out. And if you have any questions about dating, or probably we're going to talk a lot about dating. So send your questions over. If you want to see me live, sign my mailing list so I know what city to go to. My upcoming shows will be Austin, Texas, end of June, and then I'll be going to... I've got a show on Monday in Brooklyn, Monday at 8 p.m. Go to tylerfisher.com. That's at Old Man Hustle in Williamsburg. I think there's still tickets left. And then the 30th in Austin, Texas. And then I'll be at Zany's Nashville and Star Dome, I think, in Alabama, the 15th and the 16th of July. And I'm doing a movie. I booked a big role in a movie. I'm so excited. I can't talk about it, but hopefully I can get some behind-the-scenes stuff while I'm there. Good things are happening, guys. I appreciate all your support. That's why this is all happening. You're basically like my comedy agent, which is so fucking cool. I used to have one douchebag who's like, no, it's tough for white guys. We can't get your auditions. And now I have almost 1 million people who are quite literally driving the market now. It's awesome. I love you. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Do something nice for yourselves. Get a haircut, you know. Have somebody massage your scalp. And I'll see you on Wednesday.